It's a great pleasure to receive you here and to host you in Brazil.
It's a pleasure to come here and to accept your invitation. There are many different parts of the world where I have spoken about this research I've done in this book, and probably the best crucible for these ideas is Brazil. Because the culture of business here is all about innovation. And at the same time in Brazil, there is a respect for nature and humanity and environment. Whereas in many other countries, it is a zero-sum situation. Business takes and society loses. But here there's a genuine desire to make both win.
When we speak about social innovation, many people think about philanthropy, about losing money. We are an emerging market country. We are a developing country. We are poor. We don't have enough resources. So how this applies into Brazil?
Well, I think in a mature capitalistic society, philanthropy is a nice thing to do. But even there, it's not sustainable. To me, philanthropy is a nice thing for people to do personally, but as a corporation, if the investments you're making are not driving the growth of the business, they shouldn't be done. The world right now thinks in very binary either or conceptions. We make profit or we give philanthropy. The idea of social innovation is very third way thinking. How do we do more social impact and environmental impact than we could do through philanthropy? By using the engine of the business to solve societal problems, and how do we drive business growth in ways that the business couldn't do without developing a societal value proposition that gives you an unfair competitive advantage by connecting to consumers and customers and building relationships with government.
We see that the world today requires more than ever a strong action from companies, and we believe to take the lead and to act and behave in a conscious way. We are a company that produces forests. We are oxygen manufacturers. Mm-hmm. So we do good for the world. And the products we sell are manufactured into other products that will help people to have a better life. Or what do you think we should do in order to move stronger and move faster than what we're doing today?
Well, I'll say, first of all, I think you're on the leading edge of thinking, because worldwide, people trust companies more than governments to solve social problems. So there's an expectation of how companies can step up and lead, and I think you had an intuitive direction to do that, maybe since the founding of the business was always oriented that way. You were teaching the world how we can renew the planet, not just deplete the planet, and teaching other businesses how innovation can actually solve some of these environmental and societal problems, how you are regenerating forests, how you are developing forest corridors. And I think the best strategy that you could be doing is innovation and investing in innovation. The genetic innovations, the curatorial innovation, the branding innovations. The market wants that right now. The customers and the consumers are looking for a way to meet their functional needs of getting their products, but also meet their societal and emotional needs of I want to consume in a way that is responsible. Your leadership on genetic research is only possible because we understand the code of nature and the code of biology. You're able to innovate. But in social programming, the government programming, policy making, philanthropy, we don't have a genome. We don't have a way to map the code of societal change and human behavior change. We just guess what works. I'm trying to bring, through our research with the Impact Genome Project, science into the idea of policymaking and societal change and philanthropy, so that by mapping all of the ways in which societal programs are effective, we could isolate the genes of why some programs succeed and others don't, and we can engineer societal interventions and human behavior change programs to be more effective using innovation based on science. And so I'm just following your lead.
Especially in countries like Brazil, we have a very huge, severe problem and that's lack of dignity. And we have to fight that lack of dignity. And how do we do it?
Well, it's very similar to what you're doing as a company by innovating solutions to social problems versus throwing money at them through charity. That's never going to solve an underlying problem. But using an economic engine to innovate solutions to environmental and societal problems is the way to sustain. The way that the folks at the top of the pyramid and the governments are going to solve societal problems is not by throwing more money at it. I would argue that we don't have a resource problem, we have a resource allocation problem. We don't know what works. So what is incumbent upon those at the top of the pyramid is not necessarily to give away all their money or to spend more money. It's to spend some money, but to spend it smartly and to make it sustainable and to engineer solutions to problems that will work versus throwing money, what I call spray and pray.
Yes.
Right? Spray money all over and hope it adds up to a result. Yeah. If you ask somebody, would you rather have me give you $1,000 or would you rather have me give you a job to lift you out of poverty? They probably would say, I'd like to get out of poverty. And so it is incumbent upon the people who are in a position to help to produce outcomes, not just spend money. And I think that is the evolution of the way you're leading your business and the evolution of how I see society going. But it's also the reason why I'm spending time in Brazil, is because this is an innovation incubator. Interested in solving social problems fundamentally, you are willing to test new ideas and innovations, and there's an interoperability among corporate, government, and NGO that is very tight and very mutually respectful.
Well, thank you very much for being the lighthouse for ourselves and helping us in putting light on the right path and helping us to help others.
Yes, well, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much.